Hello everyone, welcome back to Spitting Daggers, a podcast where we talk about gaming, life as a gamer, and all matter of weird and wonderful things that come with it. Enjoy. Hey, alright man, how are you?
Yeah, good man, good. Just
Yeah,
living the dream. How about you?
Yeah mate, living the dream one day at a time. What's your plans for this weekend, man? Get up to much?
Yeah, sort of just chilling out a little bit. Might do a bit of video editing. Might jump on, play some games. Yeah, a little bit of schedule. Might see how that's going a bit more.
Yeah, copy.
Might play some more of the Oblivion Remastered.
Yep.
Get a bit more in depth with that. But
Nice.
What about yourself, man?
Yeah, same here. A little bit of chilling. We'll probably do a little bit more Schedule 1. And then I think tomorrow, catching up with mate down the city, go play some pool. That'd be cool.
Nice.
That'd be cool to go out and touch some grass for a bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Get outside. Stop being a mushroom.
Dead set. Yeah, not really sure what else I've got sort of planned for this weekend. The rest will just be sort of Rogue Society stuff, man. Getting things going with the new rollout that we're doing, some new drops coming out and whatever. So there's a bunch of shit to do about that.
That's the one that we spoke in last podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So we've got a whole bunch of stuff to roll out for that. And not really sure exactly how much of that will get done this weekend, but hey, as long as there's no rest for the wicked, mate, we'll just keep going.
Hey.
Yeah, and that's pretty much about it on here.
You'll have to show me a little sneak peek after the podcast.
Yeah, after the podcast.
Let me in to know what's going on.
Yeah, man. But no, easy, dude. I'm keen to hear what you have to say about Oblivion, because I haven't really got around to that just yet. I really thought I would have had enough time to get around to it by this time, but well, and you do what you can do with the amount of time that you got.
Exactly.
But yeah, so today we're going to do a little bit of talking about some EU premium currency laws. We touched on a little bit about that last podcast.
Yes.
I really wanted to dive more into it, but we just didn't quite get there. So it's good to really flesh that out for this bit. Then we're going to look at some Steam. Steam is, throwing that huge cock of theirs around. So that's awesome. We'll talk a bit more about that. And
we did touch on it last podcast, but we moved on to speaking about something else. So I thought we'd go a little bit more in depth with this.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's very much welcome. And then we got some surprise news from Rockstar, also doing their own dick swinging competition. So we got a bunch to talk about, man.
There's a lot going on in the gaming world right now.
Yeah, man. So I'm pretty keen to sort of get into it, then. So what have you been? You've been playing a bit of Oblivion, yeah?
Yeah, so I found out that it came out just after we finished that podcast.
Yeah, the Shadow Drop.
I know. Talk about nostalgia with an uppercut. Of visual... Fuck. Talk about nostalgia with an uppercut of visual epicness.
Visual epicness, copy that.
Yeah, this game came out of nowhere. There was talks, there was leaks, but then just one day, just boom, took the internet by storm. Everyone was downloading it, getting amongst it. I didn't see it coming out of nowhere. I didn't expect it to be the next day. Now, this game is pretty much like the 2006 version. They've got a little bits and bobs that are a little bit different, but I tell you, these visuals are amazing.
Yeah, okay, so just the fresh look of paint.
Pretty much. What they've done with the Unreal 5 engine it's amazing.
Yeah.
You sort of go from something looking like blocks, not really looking realistic, to something that is so detailed. I think it is awesome. What they have done, it's beautiful. They couldn't have done it any better. I feel like this remaster is something that the gaming community can salute. It was just so well done. It didn't stray far away from its original roots, but for myself, I think that's perfect. They've only had a little few changes. You can sprint now. The HUD's a little bit different, but all in all, just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I brought it for nostalgic purposes. And I believe most of the people that did play Oblivion when it first came out, I think they also brought that for the nostalgia sort of thing. But looking at that and comparing it, it's amazing to see how far the gaming quality has come to date.
Yeah, for sure.
Just the stuff that they've done with it, I can't rave about it anymore. It just looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I suppose when you've got a game that has that nostalgic reasoning behind it, that comparison becomes pretty easy. Especially you've played the original, you've seen how it looked, and you may have gone back to it at a later date and then gone, oh. That doesn't. It's like you're like, man, dude, this just does not the graphics just does not cut it.
No, especially not these days.
But then to see the visual overhaul that's available nowadays, it's pretty eye opening, eh? And I think you really get a good grasp of comparison only when you've got a game that is getting remastered like this. You get to really see it shine.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is pretty crazy.
I don't think I've heard any bad reviews about it.
Yeah, okay.
All the people that I know, they've said it was awesome.
Yeah.
Just the amount of detail that has gone into this to make it as good as it is, it's phenomenal.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's crazy. Was it? Did you notice much other things done sort of in the the mechanics side, apart from being added to sprint being added?
Sprinting definitely helps.
Yeah.
But it actually looks like the person's running, like the actual mechanic itself. Because if you compare it to Skyrim, the dude just looks like he's just arms straight, just.
Yeah.
But when you look at the sprinting in Oblivion, he's got his arm coming back, running forward like proper actual sprinting.
Yeah, so just better animations.
Yeah, way better animations.
Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't really notice much about the combat side. I still thought it still stayed the same.
Yeah, it was some better combat physics. I suppose it's probably been a while since.
Yeah, I didn't really notice much difference, because once you kill someone, they just ragdoll everywhere. So it's sort of the same.
Yeah, okay.
But I did notice that your stamina, even though when it goes down, you still do quite a bit of damage. Because I know in the first one, when your stamina was out and you'd hit someone, it would do less. It wouldn't do as much damage.
Yeah, okay.
So it still holds that damage of what you've got in your hands, or if you're using magicka or whatever. No, sorry, not magicka, but using a weapon, you still do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, copy. Yeah, that's cool.
But seeing that, do you think Bethesda might actually do a remaster of New Vegas or Fallout 3?
Yeah, well, I think Fallout 3 was on the cards. Was definitely I'm pretty sure that was scheduled. I don't know about New Vegas, but I've heard a lot of people call for it, because I think a lot of people's favorite lies either between those two. Fallout 3 or New Vegas is a lot of people's most of their favorites. So Yeah. But I think Fallout 3 was definitely on the cards. Well, I'm pretty sure it was going to be planned. And then New Vegas is a maybe, but a very hopeful. But
It's definitely a big possibility.
Yeah, well, but by the success of Oblivion, this opens the door to of possibility, you know, like for them to actually go and do that. Because I mean, like obviously a big company like that, they need approval from, people that are putting a lot of money into this, and so like if it's not financially viable, or there's not a very solid backing to say, hey, this is going to make us money, like, then it just doesn't get done. But there's it's not a very forgiving environment. Like the gaming world these days isn't a very forgiving environment when it comes to passion projects. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be a return on this because games are so goddamn expensive to create now.
Yeah.
Which is, so it's just one of those things. So it's really good to see the success of something like this, where it's like, okay, well, like, damn, a New Vegas might be on the cards. Because if it's going to be a hit,
may as well.
Like a win for the devs is a win for us, really.
Yeah.
Like we as the consumers are going to be using our dollars to vote on what's a good idea and what isn't. So if that feedback gets through, then damn, cheer boy, let's go. But yeah, really happy for them, man. It was like how many copies? Man, didn't do 4 million copies or something?
I'm not sure. Not sure how many copies they sold, but they had like 200,000 concurrent players on Steam at one point.
Yeah, damn.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, super happy that it did as good as it did.
I think they've really outdone themselves.
Yeah. Speaking of something else that is just kick some goddamn goals. I've been playing Schedule 1. So a one-man development studio in Sydney has pulled off like an almost this number could be whatever, but it's estimated to be around 2 million copies sold. But like it hasn't really been an easy run. Like so this guy Tyler, right? He's a single man dev. I think he lives in Sydney. He's a creator of Schedule 1, and he faced a little bit of backlash. Not only because the game is like a crafting sim, but for drugs, but like there was there was some naming of an achievement or whatever that could have been perceived as racist, and like on top of that, he faced a few like IP infringement claims. But like that whole claim there, like was loose as at best, which is awesome. And despite everything, our boy Tyler is based as, and like he's created a really fun game. And there's like it's surprisingly deep for like how basic it looks, and it works for $29. For $29, man. Like it's super fun, which is the main thing.
I have played a little bit of it. I really enjoy it.
You played Did you play the demo?
I just played a little bit of the demo.
Yeah.
As I was playing it, I sort of found that it's really grindy at the start, but once you've started getting everything, it sort of just makes it a bit easier.
Yeah, well, like it's like the processes of like how you're doing things, like as the game progresses more, like I think there's a lot more choice on like things you can things that you can automate, and because like you can end up hiring dealers
And they just go take it for you.
Yeah,
and they
and
sell it.
and
It's like,
botanists to go take care of the plants, and like you can start to like really figure out how you want to sort of move this little empire forward, you know, which is really cool that they've done it in a way where you can really sort of choose how you want to play it. You know what I mean? Like they've gone, you know, here's the destination, get to here, but there's no road there. You can just do whatever you need to do to get to where you want to be, so to speak, which is really cool for games like that, where they don't
give you a bit more freedom and a bit more choice of how you want to take it.
Exactly.
Or take that path.
Exactly, and they get you thinking as well. You're thinking more about what's the most enjoyable path for you to take as a player when sort of crafting your journey, or carving your journey out of this game, man, which is really cool. I think also the game is a testament to how gamers really just want to have fun. Like, for anyone who thinks that gamers have impossible standards nowadays, or just impossible standards of how video games should be, like, I think Schedule 1 is proof that gamers aren't picky and that our standards aren't getting higher. We just want games that are fun. Like there's nothing to say in Schedule. There's nothing flashy about Schedule 1 at all. It's just there's nothing good on the graphics. You know what I mean? Like, but dude, a one-man dev team and 2 million copies sold. That says something.
He now rich.
Yeah.
But that game there. That is something that hasn't been done before, isn't it?
No, realistically, yes. Things like that have been done before because it's just a crafting simulator, and like versions of that have been done inside many different types of games. But one thing, like, you got the sort of narcotics part about it, and like, I don't think there's other games that have been done the same way, like with narcotics.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I think there might be a bit of a unique take there, but the IP infringement that came to them was from a company. Oh God, I can't remember the name, but I can't remember the name of the game. But it was basically, I think it was called Drug Dealer Simulator.
Yeah, right.
But the way that game worked was a lot different. Where it was more about territories and all sorts of stuff. Like, and realistically, when you were to look at both the games side by side, you just like, IP infringement for what?
Like, not even the same game.
What? Because there's drugs in a game? Like, what? So what now? What every game that has drugs in it should be like, should.
I think they're just trying to cut his grass.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of drama about it. I don't want to get too much into it because there's 1,000 YouTube videos out there about this shit. But
what was the achievement that was brought up about being racist?
I think it was called Indian Giver, and you get that achievement when you sell someone drugs and then you pickpocket them back. And I think it's I don't want to go too much into it because I didn't actually really understand it or whatever too much. But I think it's a play on words of Indian Giver, which is something to do with, like, you know, Native Indian Americans.
Okay.
But you know, dude, that ain't my culture, and I don't know anything about that, so I haven't really got 2 bars to spit about that. But yeah, there was something about it that could be perceived as racist. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked too much into about that. I've just been enjoying playing the game.
Yeah, man. For only one person to develop that game, that is insane. There's so much you can do in it. Yeah, that is. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
And especially since it's only $30, it's like, whoa, wicked.
Yeah, definitely.
Hours and hours of fun and gameplay, all for that. It's like, oh, that's a bargain.
Yeah, hey. That's
How good is that?
And like with a 4080 Super, it runs at like 500 frames per second.
You're like 10 steps ahead of already what you're doing.
yeah, just teleporting around. Like, what up? Oh yeah, man. But no, that's been heaps of fun.
Well, yeah, I'll get a little bit more into that this weekend.
Yeah, damn.
Get a big giant drug empire going on.
Yeah, well, you know what even is even wickeder. I don't even know if wicked is a word, but I'm going to use it. Is you can do co-op.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so you can run a drug.
That's awesome.
So you can run a drug empire with your mates. I think up to 4 people, so you can have like 4 people in the lobby. You just grow plants, steal drugs.
Oh, that's wicked.
Make drugs, mix drugs, anything you want to do with drugs. But it's even better because you can do it with your mates. No one likes doing drugs by themselves. Well, maybe some people do, but you know what I mean? So yeah, so if you know, I would say if you want to jump on, but when you get on, do you want to manufacture and sell some drugs with me?
Oh, you know it.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
Let's just quit our 9-to-5 job and just go straight into that.
Hell yeah, boy. Love it. Alright, cool. Well, yeah, I think that's all that I've been playing. I haven't really been playing anything else. What about you?
Yeah, pretty much those 2 games, man.
Yes, sweet. Alright,
So
cool.
I'll probably smash a bit more of those.
Yep. Yes, sweet. Well, we'll move on to some other topics just about what's been happening in the gaming world in the last 2 weeks. I'll get into a little bit with the new laws that came out in the EU. So premium currencies in video games have always been a problem, but the European Union has stepped up their game. So they've implemented new laws, and like these things are a huge W for any gaming consumer. I'm not going to go into the whole deal. Like anyone can just YouTube it and whatever to find out exactly exactly what's happening. But I'm going to read these out because there's a little bit to go through. But things that they're trying to get rid of is bundles that mismatch the value of in-game items and virtual currency. Currency packs that have more virtual currency than the item you're trying to buy. So like if you want trying to buy an item for like 100 stars or whatever, and then you go to buy the stars and $10 worth of stars only gets you 90. So you're going to buy the $24 pack, which has a bunch more or whatever as a tactical buying thing to get you to buy more. So that stuff's getting eliminated. Mixing multiple in-game virtual currencies to make a purchase. So if you got like stars and then another bullshit like fake currency, you can't use multiple. And then another one is requiring several exchanges of virtual currencies before actually getting a purchase. So like all purchases need to be straight off the bat. And no limited time offers using predatory urgency tactics, which is cool because like why should there be like urgency tactics on that stuff? And so basically, all in a nutshell is that they're trying to treat the premium currency like an actual currency, which is how it should have always been. So, but now because of that, games will need to now have refund policies for both in-game purchasable items and also for purchasing the in-game currency as well. Now, I think I can speak for every gamer like outside the European Union that like this sort of regulation like couldn't come fast enough for the rest of the world, really.
Well, we live here in Australia, and usually once the EU makes a call, it slowly progresses down to the rest of the countries.
Yeah, well, I think the European Union was the one that called for standardized USB chargers for phones, and that's why Apple now has a USB-C instead of their Lightning or whatever. It's no longer proprietary, like, or not proprietary, but like it's no like that's been dismantled because there should just be a standard charging cable like for a phone. I'm pretty sure they rolled that out, and then look what happened. It's a little bit different because that's a physical device and it's not just for gaming or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a quite a broad thing, but like that goes to show like how much a decision can sort of make waves and ripple down the line.
So what did you mean by refund policies for both in-game currencies and purchases in the game?
So
is that like a policy where if you do buy it, you can go back on it?
Yeah, you should be able to refund it.
Okay.
Just like any other purchasable item.
Okay.
I don't know if that means they have to, like it has to be able to be refunded, but I assume it does. Like you should be able to refund something, especially if its value is ambiguous. Like if you go and buy, this in-game currency, and then you go to purchase something and you change your mind.
You should be able to give them back those in-game coins to get your money back. Okay. That's actually really cool. I like that.
Yeah, and like like a lot of this stuff I think is made more for the children as well. So there's a lot of stuff that is more around like the targeting of children. Like because a lot of these games are targeting children. Like they're yeah, it's
well, especially Fortnite. Look at Fortnite. They've got V-Bucks. That game is, you would probably have adults playing it, but the way that they've made the game, it is for kids. They're targeting kids.
It looks cartoony. It looks like something a kid plays.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you look at these V-Bucks, like that there is sort of, targeting kids. And being like, hey, how about you get your parents to buy you some V-Bucks so then you can get all these cool skins in that.
And I think they're like one of the culprits of this too. Like when you look at all the different tactics that are being used now that this thing's targeting, like try and find a game that doesn't employ these tactics. Like
yeah.
Like the urgency stuff's huge. Mismatching a value of items. We're trying to get you. Oh yeah, like this skin's 1,200 V-Bucks or whatever, but the lowest amount you can buy is like 999 or something like 900. And then but the next one's like 2,400, which is like $25 or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, why can't I just buy that skin? And I think that's the direction that they're wanting to go, where it's like if you wanted to purchase a skin, you should be able to purchase it, and they need to display the actual value of that skin. So if that skin's 1,200 V-Bucks, they need to state the in-dollar value below it.
Yeah.
And so there is absolutely no ambiguity with what you're purchasing and how much you're actually spending for it. Which is
great.
Yeah, like, because I mean, like, think of how many kids that are just like, you know, like their parents' card might just be like, you know how like you've set up Google Pay or whatever, and you can just spend money like so willy nilly.
Kids just brought like $20,000 worth of V-Bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, what's that max pack or whatever is like $89 or something like that.
It's close to $100, I think. Might even be over $100.
Yeah, crazy, dude.
That's insane.
But it is good that they're going to sort of protect people that might not have the idea or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, because like I think of myself as a semi-sane individual, and I can sort of put the two and two together when I go and look at that skin and then go, that requires X amount of V-Bucks. But
why do I need to purchase more?
But I need
V-Bucks?
to buy more to purchase that skin. I don't like that. I'm not going to make that decision. You know, like I can make that decision myself. But for those that can't, could even be people that have like some sort of like mental impairment.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or even just someone who's just impulsive. Like, these tactics work. And for some of these companies, man, that's their whole goddamn business model. Like, last podcast, like, we talked about mobile games. In specifically, I said Raid Shadow Legends. That game is just a living, breathing slot machine. Like think of bad microtransactions in a game.
Yeah.
Dude, and then increase the price by like $20. And that's like the price of like the lowest thing you can buy.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. Like, there's some whales in that game. Like, I used to watch this YouTuber. Oh God, I can't remember his name. I think like he does sort of variety stuff, but he did a bunch of Raid Shadow Legends content. I think it's Darth Mike. His name is Darth Microtransaction. God damn. But yeah, and I think I seen a clip of that guy, and I think he said something that he'd spent like $40,000 inside that game.
$40,000.
It was ridiculous. It was 5 figures.
Oh my god! What the hell, man?
Yeah, crazy stuff,
dude.
And it's just like, how do y'all raise your kids? I don't have any kids. You can't have any kids, man.
Bro needs to go out and touch some grass every once in a while.
Yeah, he's a good content creator, but it just, like, you know, like games like that where there's like clearly predatory strategy being used to try and like persuade the purchase or whatever, because
well, I mean, to me it sounds like a very big manipulation tactic.
It is dead set. And you know, and it does go towards a little bit of a gray area where it's like, okay, well, is this predatory, or is it just good sales tactics? Like scarcity, urgency, like all of these things are used day in, day out with every other aspect of our life.
Yeah.
Like, try and find a company that doesn't use these tactics. They use them because they work, because that's how you win in a capitalist society, you know. Which is, so it does make it a little bit grey. But
It does.
in the spirit of helping the children and protecting the children, like you
The
know,
years
I think
made
it's,
good.
I think it, I do think it's necessary just because of the nature of games anyway.
Mm.
Gamifying things has always been a good way to get more engagement and get more investment out of a customer, and then so when combine that, with the purchases, damn.
The EU's made a really good call.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
So I did want to speak a little bit about how Steam is banning advertising in games.
Mm.
Now this is a little bit of older news. I think this happened back in February, but it's
Yeah.
only just become more apparent to me now. I only just saw it the other day.
Yeah, copy.
Now this would have to be one of the biggest wins for gamers. So EA's CEO had stated that they were looking at having in-game advertising. So it would stop your game, you'd watch an advert.
Bro, like inside the game.
Inside the game. So you know
Yeah,
how
okay,
you
no good.
watch just normal TV? Stop your game, you watch an advertisement. You can't skip it. That's how it was sort of depicted. Steam's come out and said, no, we're not going to sell your game on our platform if you put in-game advertisements like that.
Yeah.
And that's a huge win for gamers.
Dead set. That, yeah, 100%, man.
So it was apparently this rule had been written 5 years ago. I'm not sure if it was or not, but the source that I did get that from isn't exactly most trustworthy, because a lot of other places was just more about Steam saying, hey, we're just banning this.
Yeah, okay.
So inside that, there's no advertisements in games, so no pop-ups, nothing. You can't have players engage in any ads in order to stop their gameplay.
Yep.
So they've completely banned that. There's a couple of grey areas. There's this one game called Death Stranding that I can remember.
Yeah.
There's a part where old mate goes to grab a monster, and there's like a whole bunch of monsters sitting there. That there is an advertisement. It's a paid advertisement there, but it's not in your face. It's not taking over anything. It's just part of the game.
Part of the game.
And
yeah.
Steam is allowing that because it's not stopping your gameplay. It's just there.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think that's good.
Yeah,
you can have
definitely.
celebrities in there that they can pay advertisement and that. It's all good because they're just they're in there. They're not stopping you. Now the way I look at games are made for entertainment and leisure. Why would you want to ruin that by making noise with advertisements?
Yeah.
Like me as a true gamer, I wouldn't like that. I play games to escape the noise. How would you feel if you were playing a game that you thoroughly enjoyed and it stopped you to say, hey, you need to watch this ad before you continue?
Oh, dude. I wouldn't play it. I think, well, obviously Steam is, obviously I think, as a consumer, that Steam made the right call. But also, what the hell is EA thinking? Like, they got a pretty loyal, think of people who play FIFA. Like, dude, it's got such a loyal player base, right? And they pay what, $100 AUD for a game?
I'd say roughly about that, yeah, 100, 120.
That's not enough. Like,
Yeah.
it's not enough. And like I'm pretty sure there's in-app purchases as well that can be made inside that game. And it's like
in-game currency too.
In-game currency. There you go. You can buy players, you can buy all sorts of stuff, and then now now they want to put advertisements in there. That is to be honest, man, if I was a FIFA loyalist, that would be like I'd really be questioning. That'd be breaking that little part of the loyalist in me, you know. That's like it's just really shitty. It's just really shitty. It's almost like a really obnoxious money grab sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
it sounds very greedy.
Yeah, it does.
Like, how can we make more money? Oh, let's get people to pay us so we can put the advertisements in there.
It's like, dude, the goddamn game's advertised more like 4 ways. Oh, it's just nuts, dude. Just nuts. Like, so like even though I think Steam made the right call, I think Steam really made the only sane call. What even is this? Ads inside a game, like, and it's not even like because when you said ads inside a game, I was thinking like, oh, cool, like you know how like around like a football field they have those little banners, like the little physical barriers that go around the actual field in the game, and they might have Monster Energy or Red Bull or rah. Like, that's what I was thinking, but not boom, stop your game, you need to watch an ad to continue to play.
That's exactly what it is.
That is
they're okay with it, have it going around in the background as long as it does not stop you from doing what you're doing. Like, there was this one, I watched this video, and they were talking about Assassin's Creed. I can't remember exactly which game it was, which Assassin's Creed it was, but this dude was running through to go to his objective, and then boom, pop up, 20% off, buy the game. And then they realized that it happened, so then they quickly got rid of it. So the person closed it down. Is it Ubisoft that make Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
They realised it, went, oh, get it out, like, just get rid of it.
Damn.
Alright, that's crazy.
Yeah.
There was also a video of the NBA. Like,
yeah. Oh, 2K?
Yeah, 2K NBA. When you're waiting to play a game, sometimes the big, what would you call it? That big screen? It should be like a...
You talking about like the ones like above the court?
Yeah.
The big
giant, the big giant screen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the technical term
I'm not quite sure what they're called either.
But that comes up while you're loading into a game. They had an advertisement about the Apple virtual reality thing pop up, and it said the exact price that it was.
You cheeky dogs.
But that there fits into Steam's guidelines, as it doesn't stop you from not playing your game. It's a loading screen.
It's not an ad, it's a loading screen. God.
Yeah, it's like you're waiting to get into the game. So, there is some grey areas here.
Yeah. Well, at least they're sticking inside the guidelines. But, man, sneaky, dude.
Very
sneaky, man. It's crazy how a lot of games are sort of running down this like just hyper monetization, eh? It's not hard to see that it, like, how crazy it is just from the money that the games industry brings in. Compared to what is it, the movies and music combined plus. But I think it's a lot more than both of them. So, like, it's not hard to see that, like, they're trying to squeeze as much out, but man, it gets refreshing to see games that are truly made for the love and like truly made to be just an awesome player experience, you know, without all this monetizing content cycle shit that we're getting nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people have been talking about that Expedition 33, how that there's like a sort of prime example of just a game that's made with love, you know, and is made for the experience and isn't tainted with a lot of this shit, which is really good to see that a lot of that is getting pushed out, you know.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, that makes me think of like in terms of just like lots of monetization. So Star Citizen has raised $800 million, and it's either it's the world's biggest crowdfunded project, or it's just a goddamn heist. So Star Citizen it's an incredibly ambitious game, like in terms of funding and its scope. Like it has this thing in it called the Persistent Universe, which is basically a multiplayer, like a massive multiplayer simulation, and it allows for seamless space to planet transitions. Like the whole thing is just one. There's no loading screens, nothing, which is pretty crazy. It's like pretty mental technology. And so the community opinion about it is pretty mixed. So you've got amazing, fun with friends, and then you've got Scam Citizen.
Scam Citizen.
Yeah. So over ambitious, definitely. Scam, maybe. But it's still a real life game, and it's pushing really incredible technology. But I think it's been like 12 years and $800 million, and still a long way to go. You know, there is an argument to be made. However, it seems more likely that something's just being mismanaged financially, anyway. But
I don't even know what Star Citizen is.
You haven't heard of it?
Never really heard of it. Like, what is it? Is it an RPG?
Well,
is it
I think it
MOBA?
like everything that Starfield promised it was is Star Citizen, pretty much.
Star Citizen's sort of just like that.
Yeah, but it's like
a space adventure RPG.
But it's it's multiplayer.
Yeah, right.
So like
okay.
it's like an MMO.
Yeah. So it's like an MMO RPG.
Yeah. So you can go buy ships and all sorts of stuff and build your character out,
okay.
play with a bunch of friends, join parties, join team deathmatches, all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty much Starfield, but like online and just on a bigger scale, I think. And the whole idea of it is to basically be this massive, living, breathing space sandbox adventure that everyone participates in, and so you can see from the scope of it that it's incredibly like ambitious.
Now, one thing that actually got me quite intrigued is that it's taken 12 years and $800 million from crowdfunding.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
How?
Yeah, so how they do it, right? So, like any true game these days, it has a working shop. Shop is fully functional, but it uses the shop. So it crowdsources it by selling like ship concepts to players. Right. So if you played the game or whatever, you can go, oh, okay, I'm going to buy like a massive warship inside the game, and then it uses that money to sort of fund the rest of the project. And so, like, man, so
okay.
all these players have spent like a lot of money on this game.
Oh, so this game has actually already been released.
Yeah. So,
I thought this was. I thought the. I thought the game hadn't been made yet.
Well,
that's why I was like 800 million, and it's been 12 years. What?
Yeah, well, like I think there's been like some playable versions. I'm not quite too sure about all the
sort of
history.
like an alpha, like
it's still
like
an alpha. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
12 years to be an alpha. Wow.
Yeah, but when you look at the scope, it is kind of understandable because they're trying to have like this living, breathing universe of a game.
Yeah.
And this also is like they want to do like cross so I think they call it server meshing, I think. Where like servers can all like roll into one and
they can all talk to each other. So you can just go to another server just by going across the wall.
Yeah, so like the world world will still be the same, but maybe not the players might not all be able to interact at the same time. But yeah, it would be like this one giant. Yeah, they call it the persistent universe. So like the world stays in this constant state, which is pretty crazy. I was actually pretty keen to. I was actually pretty interested in giving it a whirl. I think it was like Australian. I think the cheapest one was like $66, and you get a ship and I don't know, all sorts of stuff or whatever. You can go in,
see what's going on.
But yeah, so like super, really ambitious project. But like you can like a lot of the players are like, no, this is just a goddamn scam because and it's. The players aren't wrong in feeling that way.
Yeah.
Even though you can't really say it's a scam because there's a tangible product right at the end that you can go in and play. Like it exists. It's not a scam, but I think it's just one of those things where it's like what's been promised and versus what's been delivered. There's a big discrepancy there. So that's why I sort of say that maybe it's more of a mismanagement than just a giant scam. Because I think that because when you think about it and all the things that would need to happen to make this hyper ambitious project succeed. Is you would need a lot of resources, and I'm pretty sure there's quite a few people, like a few thousand people working on this project. So like, there's lots of employees. Like I can't really. Yeah,
just taking quite a bit of time.
Yeah, and and it might also just be a bit more of a thing of like maybe it's something like a task that is too big for the mouthful. You know what I mean? Like they're sort of trying to bite off more than they can chew. In terms of succeeding in this thing, but by the looks of it, it's not something that just succeeds. It's something that's just going to be continually developed and worked on.
For how big they're looking at it, it's going to take quite a lot of time. Like a very long time.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of technologies in place too that sort of need to be developed to make sure it can get to the place where it needs to be. So I think where a lot of that $800 million has gone, it hasn't gone into making the game, but making the technologies like behind the game to make it all actually possible.
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot of testing involved there, like a lot of testing, lots of trial and error. Like that shit's expensive. When it comes to building anything, man, like trial and error costs a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty nuts, dude. But yeah, I'll move on because I did want to say something because like the last podcast, we talked a little bit about the Elder Scrolls 4. So the Elder Scrolls 4 got released. Oh, sorry, got leaked, and then it got shadow dropped out of nowhere. But I want to go back I want to go back because seriously, like, there's another leak that the devs are just totally prepared for. Like, the Elder Scrolls 4 got released, and then they had all the marketing materials, whatever, and then like 3 days later, it just gets shadow dropped. So like, I'm really happy that it worked out really good for them because I want to see more games like this. Like I want to see that. I want to get that nostalgia, you know. But I gotta say, I don't buy the whole this got leaked thing from the inspection of a element using like the Google Chrome inspector or whatever, and then they found all this stuff. Like, I don't buy it. And I was skeptical about GTA 6 too. And now, like, it just seems like leaks are just getting more and more and more common, and I think they are, which is just kind of crazy. But like, obviously when games leak, they're seeing some sort of success, which is pretty crazy. But all in all, like, even if it was a planned leak, like, I'm happy for it either way because, like, you know, the success for the devs means, you know, we keep getting good games equals W. So,
well, in some sort of way, them purposely leaking, that could also be a marketing tactic.
oh, for sure. For sure. Well, because then everyone else does the marketing for them.
Exactly.
I mean, think of all the YouTube videos that have been made, like, since that leak, right? Like, damn, dude. There's a list, like, the list of creators that have made content about it is just never ending. And you've also got a whole bunch of aspiring creators that are like, oh, you know, that latch onto it and jump onto the hype. Look with GTA 6, like, I think, was it Michael Jordan tweeted about it?
Yep, it was him and Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast? Yeah, dude. Like, like, even though, in saying that though, like, it's GTA 6.
Yeah.
It's not like it really needed that. But I mean, I don't know, man. When you a good way of looking at things is sometimes when you're wondering sort of what's happening, you sort of look at who is benefiting from whatever has happened, and 9 times out of 10, whoever's benefiting from the situation is most likely an orchestrator of it.
Yeah.
That just doesn't just happen, you know, by accident.
No. Doesn't just get found in some little part of the web.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And that was actually about this game that came out, Mini Royale. I only heard about this game because it would come up from like creators. Creators are like making videos about it and whatever. And I think it's really interesting, this game, because like, it's really hard for games to stand out nowadays. So like, using leaks and all that sort of stuff, you know, really sort of helps. But this game, Mini Royale, has done something pretty unique in terms of a marketing strategy, so to speak. But it's a battle royale, right? But you play as mini toy soldiers, right? And you're inside this little room / playground sort of thing. So like, first things first, like, the aesthetic of the game is super unique. Like, there's not really anything out there like this sort of thing. Like, all the resources are really simple, like toy cars and trucks and whatever, but they're all like blowing up in size or whatever because you're just this little toy army man, whatever. But like, there's very little detail like on anything, but because of the setting, it all just totally makes sense inside the game. Like, it makes sense for it to look like that. But But not only does it stand out because of the setting and aesthetics, but it also stands out because like the amount of games these days that take up so much space on your hard drive because of all these like complex and highly detailed textures and all that. This game doesn't require all that. It's nice and small. It's compact, and it's I don't know. It just looks super unique. Now, I was a little bit disappointed because like I couldn't get into a lobby. Like I tried my absolute best. Like I tried multiple occasions to try and get into play this game, and it could just be because there's no one playing in the Asia Pacific southeast region, which is I would say Southeast Asia and us and Oceania, which might not be a very big server, but yeah, man, like I couldn't get into it.
Neither could I.
Oh, you had to go?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I played a little bit just last night. I tried probably 4 or 5 times to get into a game.
Yeah.
But it would just put me in the deathmatch.
Yeah.
And then I'll just play that until I'm ready for a game. I did get one. You load in and you sort of just sit up on top and you can see all the map underneath you. There was one other person.
Damn.
So I waited for a good couple of minutes, just running around, just hitting him with a baseball bat. Just killing time, waiting for everyone to load in. So I'm just hitting this dude, and then I just sat there and I was like, I'm just going to turn this off.
Yeah.
There's no one on here.
Yeah.
I did watch a bit of gameplay of it. Wow.
Yeah, it looks really cool, right?
It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
So many tactical angles.
Yeah, because of how the maps are laid out, it's just really unique, eh?
It's got a lot of cover, but it's also got a lot of open space. Someone could be shooting up from the top of the ceiling, and you're down underneath the table of the train yard, or whatever it was, the train table. You'd be sitting under there, but you can only just see them, but they can see you. They can see everything.
Yeah. No, I did a little bit in the deathmatch I think they had. So, like, you could join a deathmatch while you waited for a lobby.
Yeah. Or you could join the practice one.
Yeah, so I actually got into an actual match, but it wasn't the battle royale that I wanted to go into. It was just, yeah, but so yeah, it was like a free for all deathmatch.
Yeah,
and that was pretty cool. Except I think the deathmatch I was in, the lobby. I feel like the lobby wasn't in my region, so like my ping was shocking. 200 plus, I think. So like, damn. Even when I got a kill, I really felt like I earned that. But yeah, it was just it was pretty rough. But that's just another game that I found that I think has approached it in a bit of a different way. And as there's more and more games out and nowadays, like genres very, very quickly get, how would you say, like uniqueness gets drowned out pretty quickly. Like,
yeah,
like there's just so many games coming out nowadays, man. Like, and I think it's just now more than ever we're starting to see that things are just versions with a fresh new look of paint on it. Like, we're starting to see the same thing. Developers are just following a formula, and like it's very hard to see something really truly unique nowadays. And so so little things like that. Like Mini Royale, like that.
I would have loved to see that game succeed.
Yeah, they stand out.
Yep.
They really stand out. And
100%, man.
And
It's a whole different take on Battle Royale itself. Like, we all know what the game mode Battle Royale is, but just a whole different look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and like, just that aesthetic, just having the aesthetic in a way that's just reframed a bit can now make it so that maps like that are entirely possible now. Because, like, you know, like, but because if Fortnite was that empty, you would be like, what the hell is this? Like, none of this makes sense. We're in a battle royale in a goddamn desert? This doesn't make it, there's nothing around. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make sense to have big open maps like that. Like, done in that way. But yeah, just like a small aesthetic change. All of a sudden, now something like that's possible, but it makes sense to us when we're playing it as well, because otherwise, if that wasn't there, we would just be playing and go, dude, this is goddamn stupid. None of this makes sense. What is this, sorcerer? So, but no. Yeah, no, it's cool.
So let's get into what we woke up to this morning.
Oh, yeah.
These
yeah.
big old posts from Rockstar.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah,
I was just sitting there, you know, chilling out, and then I see this, and I'm like, what?
No way this can be true.
Yeah, they just pushed it back. Look, a lot of people have views on this. Some people might say that this is a horrible move, but I think Rockstar has made an excellent choice. I feel like I can say for myself and others that we don't want GTA to be like the release for Cyberpunk 2027.
Yeah, 100%.
Imagine if Rockstar did release GTA 6 this year, but it wasn't fully done. There was quite a lot of bugs. The game didn't look how they promised. Like, we'd all be pretty mad about it. No one would want to play it because it's an incomplete game. So them pushing it back, I think that to me tells me that they want to deliver an outstanding product to us as their customer.
100% agree.
So now that we have to wait a year, it gives us a lot of time to save up some annual leave.
Yeah, I'm going to need it.
I'm taking a month off.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
It's pushing it back says that, hey, look, this game's not done. And there's a rumor saying that it was going to be this year. But them doing that, it really does show that they want to perfect this. Yeah. They want this to be the bee's knees.
Yeah, I think it shows a lot of maturity from the studio. Like, Cyberpunk 2077 was under a lot of pressure to deliver something spectacular and groundbreaking, and like, they could have gone, you know what? We're not releasing for another 2 years. Sorry. But you know what? This is what it needs. We're going to do that. Even though it sucks, well, this is what we're going to do. Cyberpunk 2077 could have done that, but they didn't. And every time a dev studio has gone, you know what? We're just gonna go and release it, even though there's still this, and it's like, dude, you should have just waited. Every time it's a mistake, every time, and it's.
I feel like if there's any point of uncertainty from the devs, don't release it. Even though that your consumer base is like, hey, we want this now. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's better just to do that and be like, okay, is everything that in this game we are okay with?
Dude, I would argue every time is the best choice. Yeah. Like, keep the itch. Like, god damn, like.
And especially for how big GTA 6 is, this hype train won't go.
Nah, of course not. Like, it's not going anywhere, and I think Rockstar know that. And like, yeah, like, I mean, with Cyberpunk 2077, I keep bringing it up, but it's just a classic example because they folded under the pressure.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, okay, no, we know the pressure's on. You know, instead of just biting the bullet and doing the hard one, like Rockstar isn't doing that. And I think because even like the fact that the game is under so much pressure to deliver makes it even more important.
Yeah.
For them to like be like, okay, you know what we realistically need for this to be the best consumer experience possible? Another year. That's what we need. You know, and to sit back and make that call is I think really shows just a lot of maturity, a lot of experience, and a lot of learning off a lot of other devs' mistakes. You know, but but it also creates another funny scenario because like despite everyone's best efforts to stay out of Rockstar's way for this launch at September, November or whatever, to quote Chester Bennington, it doesn't even matter. like think of all the countless dev studios that have pushed their games forward and back to give their game a fighting chance instead of dropping when GTA 6 is done. Now that GTA 6 is delayed, no one's dropping at that time at all. So, we've got a bit of a funny situation here because, it must be pretty frustrating for all the studios that, have made adjustments to try and, like, give their game the best fighting chance. Because, like, changing your release date, like, that's not something that you can just do on a hairpin.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that's quite a big thing, which makes it, pretty disappointing for a lot of studios. But I think this could be a pretty good opportunity for a studio, as long as that they're nimble enough to release in that September-November range this year, since nobody else is. Like, who's the competition? Like, I think if someone's got a really unique player experience, like, man, what an awesome time to drop. Like, everyone else has shipped it either way.
Yeah, everyone's just sort of run away.
Yeah, hey, if you got the legs to do it, shit, goddamn, do it.
Maybe if even for a development team, even if they've pushed it forward a little bit, maybe now they've got that time to be like, okay, let's really perfect this and just push it back just a little bit. Which then they can just pump out a really good game.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like
then they could be in running for Game of the Year. Who knows?
Oh,
well, for next year's Game of the Year, because the Game of the Year is coming up very soon, isn't it?
No.
Is it at the end of the year or the middle of the year?
Still good. We're a bit early. We're a bit early. There's still a lot to come out, but everyone sort of had their bets put on GTA 6. Which will not be the case anymore. Because what they say, May?
26th of May, 2026.
26th of May, 2026. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite surprised that...
I'm pretty sure it was 26th. The 26th. Ooh.
Yeah, damn. I'd be pretty surprised that because they put a like a date, like a day date. Which is,
they have. I can't remember if it was the 26th.
Yeah. Okay.
It was definitely May next year.
But yeah, crazy. Leaves a lot of speculation to like what could be happening, like whether there's dramas, or they could have decided to do something bigger, where that could be rolling the online out at the same time, or maybe rolling out on all platforms.
Because that was in the talks. There was rumors saying that PlayStation was going to get it this year. Oh, sorry, console, I mean, not PlayStation.
Yeah.
Console was going to get it this year, and then PC was going to have to wait another year. So maybe they want to put them both together and be like, okay, now everyone can play.
Yeah, releasing on all platforms. Boom.
And that's that'll
really
probably
cool.
be the day that the world stops because everyone's just taking the day off work. The only people making money that day is Rockstar.
Yeah, dead set. Hey, I will gladly shut up and they can just take all of it.
Just massive internet crash. No one can play.
Yeah, dude, Visa and MasterCard will go down. From the amount of people
Too
buying
many
it.
transactions.
Yeah, dude. Dead set. No, it's going to be a crazy time. But I think you're dead right. Like it's only going to boost the hype for the game even more now. Like people are just itching even more for it. You know what would be really interesting? If they didn't even need that time, they just wanted more itch.
Imagine if they shadow dropped. Oh, dude!
just shadow dropping fucking in September. Like what? Oh god!
No,
the
dude.
internet would implode, mate.
No, do the Oblivion. So there's a little leak one day. So they've just said, "Oh yeah, we're not going to release for another year." Tomorrow, boom!
Boom! Yeah. Like, sake. But wouldn't they? Well, that would be a wicked April Fool's, wouldn't it? Like, imagine if you
It's a shame that we're not in April.
Yeah,
that would have been perfect.
Dude, imagine if like the game was about to drop in April, and they just go, you know what, like, no, we're just gonna not.
Best
and then
stitch up in
April
history.
1st comes out, and they just go, yeah, boy.
April Fools. Biggest stitch up in history.
Yeah, dead set, man. No, but that was definitely exciting times. Trying to think if I've got
Gaming has a lot to look forward into in the future.
Yeah, man. Like I'm strapped as it is now with like just trying to keep up with games, man. Like god damn, I know I'm a little bit more busier than the average Joe with like business and you know just all that sort of shit. But I mean, man, there's just so much coming out. Yeah. Like there's so much to go through. Like I'm trying to like play a lot of stuff. One, because I'm interested. Like there's games I'm genuinely interested in that I really want to play. But then there's also games that are coming out that are just rocking the internet world that I want to know about, so I can talk about it on the podcast and whatever. And it's like, holy goddamn!
It is a tricky one, man.
Yeah, with that Expedition 33 that was out, like that's something unique that in a game style that I haven't really like. I've done JRPG, but not much of the turn-based combat sort of thing. That's never really been my thing. But that there's just blowing up the internet. It's blowing up Steam charts. It's just and there's so many good things have been said about it. It's like, oh, well, I really want to play that. And it's like, man, I haven't even got to Oblivion yet. God damn. What's happening, yo?
Just buy all the games and just play an hour of each.
Oh, dude, a bit like that. I've got to find a day to do that, though.
That's how I feel like right now. Like, Oblivion's just come out, the remastered. But I remember I was speaking to you in the podcast before it came out. I was playing New Vegas.
Yeah.
I haven't played New Vegas since Oblivion came out. I'm like, oh my god, there's so many games! And then now I'm playing Schedule as well. It's like, oh, dude.
Yeah, dude. Goddamn crazy. But hey, what a time to be a gamer, right?
Oh, you know it, man. It's the best time.
Yeah, and I feel like
amazing.
this is only really going to get better. I do feel a little bit remiss because like we spent a little bit of time shitting on the game industry this time around. Just with bit. Like the monetization shit and whatever, and like But I think like that's only something that's only going to get more prevalent. But that's going to run adjacent to, awesome games coming out as well. Like more awesome games coming out. So,
100%.
So yeah, no, only time will tell to see what the future holds, man.
Hey.
But that's all I've got for this one, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything that I've got as well, man.
Oh, we got another long one. But hey, that's all right.
Hey.
I enjoy sitting down here shooting shit. It's good.
Fucking hey, same here.
So yeah, no, awesome. I'd like to thank everyone who's tuned in. Thank you very much for making it another week. Another fortnight. Sorry.
Always be here.
Yeah, man. Hope everyone enjoyed season 7, episode 7. But as always, keep being awesome, everyone. Live the dream. Keep getting the dub. Nice, man.
Keep smashing goals. See you later.